Hi, this is a quick video to explain the installation and use of the Rocksalt Slack application. Before I get to the installation, let me talk a little bit about the value of this app and why you might want it. For a lot of people, when they join a Slack community, they're really excited and want to engage and contribute. But if they don't stay in the community regularly, perhaps they take some time off or for a vacation, or they come back after a few days. When they come back, they see that the Slack community, sometimes a lot of channels are lit up and they're not sure where to start. They feel a little overwhelmed as they scroll through various channels looking for conversations that match their interests. They sometimes get fed up and then they leave and might never come back. So we built an app that makes it easy for members to specify their topics of interest so they could be alerted when they were interesting topics, not just driven by keywords, but because there's an AI behind it, it tells you if there's a topic that's conceptually similar or related to what you're interested in. There are also other nifty things, like you can follow people that you think are very interesting in the community, and you can have all of these conversations, snippets of them delivered to you via email or in Slack at a time of your choice. So let me first show you what that looks like. Here's an example email as it comes to my inbox from a community called Fractionals United. It tells me all the messages that were analyzed in this digest. It's across only public channels, no private channels or DMs. It also tells me how much I've contributed in the last week. In this case, not very much, and that's not good. There are three sections of the email. The first is called My Interests. This is the top 5 conversations that are related to my topics of interest. For each topic, there's a short summary phrase and then a little snippet of the conversation, a link to join the conversation and the channel that it's in. You'll also sometimes see flags like event or Q&A or resource shared, so you can easily scan as a member and see if there's something interesting and important for you to jump into. You can then go to the second section, which is popular discussions, same sort of format, but this time it's everything that's trending in that community, regardless of whether it's related to your topics of interest or not, so you can sort of get a vibe for the community. And then finally, the third section is a follow list. If you've specified anyone that you want to follow and they've authored a discussion, then you're going to see it here. So that's what members get. Let's now go to the app itself and what it looks like. So as an admin, you can come to rocksalt.ai/community manager and fill out the form. You can schedule a demo with us, or you can fill out this form to get an install link right away. So let me do that. We've already got our install link here. I'm going to click it and off we go. It's going to go through the OAuth process. Make sure that you select the right community that you're trying to install in if you're part of multiple communities. Here we go. This is my test community. I'm going to allow that to happen, and you're going to see it come up with a success message really soon. Great. Okay. And now you can go and personalize your digest. So here's that community running in this window. You can see that the app has appeared. There's a link from the bot in that on how to set it up correctly. So this goes over to this page, and this page is very useful. It walks through everything I'm about to show you in this video. Typically, there are 3 steps that every admin goes through. They first set up Rocksalt for themselves, just test it out, get the digest for themselves, make sure that it makes sense and it works for them. So we'll go through user settings. Once they like that, a lot of times then they set up the defaults for other members and invite sometimes a few people just to gather feedback and make sure that things are working fine. So we'll go through how you set up defaults for people and how you enable people to enroll. And finally, a lot of admins, once they feel like, okay, that's working, then they enable it for all of their users and they automatically enroll them. So we'll talk about that at the very end. Okay, so here's the app running, already installed in this screen. Okay, so let's go and set it up. So when you go to the Home tab, you'll see 2 sections. The first is admin settings, and then the second is user settings. So let's look at the user settings first. So we'll continue to go as though the admin was setting this up for themselves first, and then we'll go to the admin settings. So here, by the way, you'll see a bunch of references to Expertly still. That was our old brand name. We're just in the midst of rebranding to Rocksalt, so it's a little bit of both, but in a couple of weeks, everything will be changed over. So here you can say topics of interest. So you could say the evolution of BDRs due to AI or something very long like that. So it's not a keyword. You can have specific keywords. So let's say, for example, I'm very curious anytime someone says the word Salesforce or something like that. You can pick people to follow. So here I've got a test user. You can exclude certain channels. Perhaps there's like a jobs channel or something you're not very interested in. You can exclude that. And then you can set your delivery time daily or weekly on a specific day and at a specific time. You can have the digest delivered either via Slack in this messages tab or via email. Slack is particularly useful if you're in that Slack community a lot. You just want a nice way to jump to relevant conversations. Email is better if you're not in the Slack community very often and you want to regularly be updated even as you're not here so that you can jump in when it's relevant. And that's it. And you hit submit and you're all set to go. Okay, now let's go to the admin settings. As I said, typically the admin, what they do is once they realize that they like the Rocksalt application, then they go ahead and set up the defaults for users. So it's the same thing that we just saw before. You can say, okay, what topics of interest do most of my users like? So you can put something here. You can say everyone in my community has certain keywords they might like. You can exclude certain channels for them, all the stuff for user settings. And then once you submit it, that will become the default when any user tries to sign up. Speaking of which, there are a couple ways that users can sign up. They can sign up either individually, one at a time, or they can all be automatically enrolled if you enable this. Usually admins set it up just one at a time. And when they do that, then when a user comes to sign in, they will see a message that says, enter your email address to sign up. They enter the email address, and then they'll immediately go to the user settings and set that up. If on the other hand you enable auto enroll, then everyone automatically enrolls. They don't have to do that. They'll get all the defaults that you had set before, and now they'll get the email digest at the default time set up. They can always go and customize it later. A lot of times when admins are setting this up, they notify members that what they're doing, so you can share it expertly. So let's say you're trying to invite just a few users, say, please sign up and check out Rocksalt. Again, pardon the Rocksalt expertly branding stuff. You can invite directly to certain users, or you can invite everyone in a specific channel, and so that people can sign up. And then they'll go, if I post this, so let's post this here, you'll see that it shows up in this channel as a message. And you can see it says, please sign up for Rocksalt. And then you go here and click that, and it'll take you up to the app. Finally, you can specify various other settings. For example, that email that you get, you can specify the sender name and the reply to address. That makes it easy for members to keep in touch with the admin if they have any questions, etc. Lastly, you can also insert an announcement into, let's go and update a message. So you can insert an announcement, for example, let's say you have an upcoming event or webinar or something like that, or a special offer, or maybe even a promotion from someone. You can insert it here and click save. And then once you do that, it'll start to show up in the bottom of your email digest for everyone. That's it. Hopefully that explains to you guys the setup and use of the Rocksalt application. Thank you.